Hi, and welcome back to the Trucking Scribe. Today we're working on this slow stitch topper that we got started on last week. We're making a lace dress that's sewn down with the bodice. It has a little belt, and then we put some jewels on it. So this is where we got to today. We are still going to be working on this, so be on the lookout next week for another video on this. But I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you, and have a great day. So last week we started this slow stitch topper for our violet journal, and I did make it intentionally bigger so that I could trim it up, and then when I did all the stitching it may shrink. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take my ruler, and I did go around right in here and put a little sewing machine stitch. I can keep that. That would go on something else. So let's see, maybe right here. That's probably garbage. So what I'm trying to do is not go over this little sewing machine line because that's holding my stitches in. Let's see. Actually, it needs to come in just a little bit more. So what I'm trying to do is keep as much of the nice pretty work as I can, but at the same time have it squared up. And it sure looks crooked. Let's see. Yep, it is crooked. It's probably what I get for sitting down and trying to do this. So there, now it will fit. We can put some cardboard up under it. I can still trim it a little more if I think I need to, but I'm going to leave it like that. So I did just running stitches, then X's, and I did do a couple lazy daisies, but it didn't turn out that great. What I am thinking, so we looked through here to think of some ideas of what we could put on the front cover, and we were talking about maybe a butterfly, a basket of flowers, there's just what I decided. I want a dress. I don't know about a white dress, but I want to try and put a dress on her, or on this. So I do have these fabrics. They're 10-inch squares that I wanted to bring out and kind of see what, because I don't want purple. I've already got purple right there. So that would make a pretty dress. That one's just too big. Maybe this, the blue, because I like that. What about that? Let's see, I have this blue one too, but I really do like the other one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I want a fluffy dress, so let's see what we can do. I'm going to leave the crinkled edges on, and maybe bring it up to about right here. And I might be able to leave the full length of this, or the width, and just scrunch it all in. And that be the skirt, and then we'll put a bodice up there. What do you think? Maybe this is just to look and see what I think. This could be the bodice or something. We'd need another color, I think, maybe green. I would think maybe cut it right here. Let's start here. So I'm not standing up, I need to so I don't get hurt. We could do a 3-inch. This is a little over 6. I'll cut this at 3 inches. So what I want to do with the bodice is get my needle and some thread. I can use this thread. So this is going to be a dimensional dress. And we're going to leave the pinked edges so that you can see those. So I hope y'all are having a good day. My day has been going good. It's been hot, but other than that, it's been a good day. Getting a few things done. I mean, I'm going on this Slow Stitch Tuesday. This is what? Week 3. Actually making 3. So that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is a running stitch. I'm just going to come up here and just go in and out all the way across. Kind of big stitches. You don't need little ones because this is just going to be the gathering. And we may not need the whole piece, so we're going to stop when we get a little ways and test it out. See how it's already ruffling? Could do this on the sewing machine too. You just keep going across. Okay, let's try right here. So I'm going to take this other end that I got a knot in it, and I'm going to pull these and push that fabric up towards each other. Actually, I can let that one go and just pull it this way. So see how it's gathering? So I'd say a little bit more because I don't want too small of a gathered dress. So we're going to cover this edge up too with something else, maybe some ribbon or rickrack. I was really thinking about doing a basket because I have some flowers that I could put in there, and I'm like, you know what? Some reason I thought of a dress, and it just went from there. So I might be able to use the whole piece. So this is a 10-inch square. So this piece here is 10 by 3 because I cut it at 3. Okay. So we just did a long running stitch across there. Yep, I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm pulling all this up together, like gathering it. And I'm going to go and make a knot right here to knot this off. See if I can do it. So I want this all bunched up like that. Not real, I mean, I'm got it tight, but not real tight. What I'm going to do is just go in right here and go back and forth. I'll just pull that out. I think I went back through the same hole. I don't know how that's even possible. If I wanted to, I wouldn't. So I can run this back through here to further hold up these gathers. So this one's going to need to be turned under some kind of way. And I'm just going on and going across here to move my thread because I want to put this one under. There we go. So that it kind of goes Yeah. I'm just going to stitch this a time or two and put a big knot. We're going to cover all this up. Watch your finger because I just poked mine. So do you slow stitch? Do you embroider? I think embroidery and slow stitch to me are almost the same. And there's Sasiko and Boro that are similar to Big Stitch. But I think those two were used to mend clothes. It was their first thing they were used for. They're from over Japan. I'm not sure which one's which, or if they both came. I need to do some studying. So I am going to trim these little things that are hanging out on me. Need that. Okay. So this I can put right here, and I'll probably just tack that down on both sides. What do we want for the bodice? Do we want to try and I'm not even sure how to make a bodice here. We're just gonna see what we can do. It's gonna be too long. I think we need to go up some on her. Maybe it needs to be wider. I'm actually thinking at least as wide as the waistband down here. The top we're gonna work on. So what I'm going to do here is I like this size right there. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do it this way and then just turn it inside out. What I'm going to do is just a running stitch across here just like we did, but I'm going to make this one smaller and do a back stitch so it can close up this seam. So basically all we're doing is making a rectangle right now with small little stitches. Okay, so right here I am going to try and make sure I make a knot. It's not like you're going to be wearing it or a fairy's going to be actually wearing it, but you definitely want to. I'm just going to trim this off right here. I don't need it. Could get a little bit straighter, I'm telling you. These are not fabric scissors, y'all. If you have fabric scissors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try and see if I can't get this turned inside out. It's going to take some work because I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I should have sewed it the other way, but I was wanting to do a clean edge. Here it comes. Here we go. It's looking good. So what I'm thinking about doing is trying to, I want this to go down in a slope. Let's see. I'll take a little snip here. I don't want too much. I want to make a bodice, like right there. I may need to cut it longer. Let's go just a little bit longer. I'm trying to do a little at a time, that way I don't mess it up. So I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to make another knot on the end. And you see how I cut it? I just cut it down to where it will fold under on both sides. So I'm going to make like a triangle on both sides. And I'm going to start down here and just tack that down with the small stitches so it'll stay. We still got to put it on our thing. Right now I'm just trying to make it look like a top. See, then I got this hanging out at the top up there. I really don't want. See if I can sew it to where it will come in. You can take your needle and just kind of tuck it under. And then just come back here, and I'm not going through the front side. I'm just trying to tuck this in to get it. See, I probably didn't need it torn. So when we go to put this on, we'll kind of tuck it under there. Let's see, I'm going to trim this off because this is a seam, so I'm going to trim some of that bulk out of there so I can get in here. And I'm going to turn this side down too. Right now I'm trying not to go through that front. I do have a few stitches right here. So we're doing kind of like needle stitch applique or turn under applique. And I could actually be doing this on there, but what I want to do first is see what proportions I need. And then we can applique it down. Let me think. So I have some laces. I don't really like that. I have this one. What? No, I don't know that that's the right color either. I do have this over here, which I thought would look really cute. I've had it for a while. So it is like a ribbon. It can actually go over the shirt, but it's not quite the color I want. Maybe the purple. So what do you think about that? Is that too much purple? We do have little laces that might look good. I think these are just too wide. Maybe not. It takes away from the gathering. See, I had thought about just doing it like this and ruffling it all together, which actually might not be a bad idea. You know, I think I will. So I need this to be 3 inches. I'm just going to clip these threads carefully. I'm going to try this again with the lace because I do like that overlay of lace on it. So I actually want to go in from the top instead of the back. I'm just going in and out, in and out. And I am going to trim this off right there. I think I'm going to get another piece of white also and try it and do the needle turn applique. That look better. So when you're sewing like this, be flexible. It's just like a junk journal. You can go back and change it, make modifications. That's how you get ideas. So I had something kind of pictured in my head, but not completely pictured. So when I get down here to the end, what I'm going to do is I want that kind of turned under too. Go in, come back out, and then I will pull this so it can get bunched up. Yeah, that is much better. Right about there maybe? Yeah, I think so. So I'm just going to tack this back down just like I did a while ago. I don't know if, I think I'm going to leave that in so that you could see how I worked through this to figure out what I wanted to do. And then I'm just going to go back across here and kind of tack these ruffles in. They're not really going anywhere, but I don't want it too tight though. I'm just going through the loop, taking a stitch and going back through the loop right here. So now here I'm just going to cut my stitches out again because I've changed my mind. I want to do something else. And I think I can still use this. I'm just going to trim down just a little bit. I'm pretty sure I don't need all of this. Maybe about right in there. But what I do want to do is that turning this and making it look good. Don't need all that. Just going to finger press it or use my bone folder. You can kind of press that in. If you want to, you can put a little glue and that'll help hold it. I may just do that, a little dab. You don't want to put a whole lot because then it'll glue your piece together, or it'll be hard to sew through the glue. Yeah. And then I'm wanting this to go down. Okay, so what we're going to do is some needle turn applique. If I can get it going. It's been a while. I'm using just regular sewing thread right now. Okay, so I want this right about there. What do you think? Yep. So for me, I'm going to start down here. That way I can kind of hold this with my finger. And when you're doing needle turn applique, and right now I'm just making some big stitches to get started because this is going to be covered up like a little belt going across there. So I'm not too concerned. So when you start doing needle turn applique, this part is already turned under. You see how you got this nice thing? You go in and then you come up in that little, in the fold. And you're doing small stitches, so you're going from the back and you're coming up and you're getting that little bit of an edge. So one thing I wanted to look at was also, I need sleeves, or this would be like a gown without sleeves, a sleeveless gown. Sounds like a good idea to me. So you really don't necessarily have to worry about these stitches showing because we got stitches everywhere. It's just habit for me. And I'm probably going to do some more stitching on this when I get done. Okay. Now as I get up here closer to the top, I'm going to start looking at turning this under. So this is where some of that needle turn comes in. So I want to get up in this area. And then I'm going to push that under. You know, I ain't real good at this, so I just have to see. I'm trying to get that point first and then come back. I'm going to come through the fabric and then I'm going to tuck all that in and just get that very corner. And then I'm going to come out over here. See how that's kind of got the bodice going? I'm just going to go down here, keep going all the way down to the little spot right there. See that? So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this edge under. We're going to go the other way. So what I'm thinking, let me get that under there. I'm doing tiny little stitches right there. And I've got this folded under as I go up. Okay. So to make this more even, I need to be about right there down somewhere in there. So I'm going to sew down a little bit more, the edges just a little bit. I'm looking right in there is where I want to fold that other piece in. So now I'm making my little point of the dress right there. Trying to tuck all that in so it's not sticking out and looking all crazy. And I'm just taking my needle and pushing the fabric around with the needle. So I could put some straps on her. But I don't know, kind of am liking this. Let's see. I definitely want to put this, sew that down some more. So if you take your time and just play with it and use shapes like I've done, you may take it apart several times, but eventually you'll get something you really like. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and sew across here just to tack it down because this is going to be where our bodice is going to be. All right, so that is our bodice part, the shirt part. Let's see, I like that right there. So I'm going to come up on the edge and I'm just going to sew this in place. And I am going to do like one stitch at a time just so I can make sure it is down a little bit, or not down, but it's held down. I want my ruffle to come out right about there. Yeah. what I can do is go ahead and make some bigger stitches to tack it down and then come back through the other way and do some more stitching. So we could put like gold or lace or trim. I'm still not sure what I want to go right in there. Now I'm just coming back the other way with the thread and going up and down in the fabric, just further securing the skirt. So I've been working on the Jesus in July 24 Bible study and open collaboration. So the Jesus in July creative team are making journals and ephemera out of the kit that I made that features Jesus and Mary and Joseph and the wise men, the shepherds, and all. We are celebrating Jesus in July because if you're going to have Christmas in July, just makes sense to do Jesus in July too. So I thought that would be the perfect time to do this. So we're doing a Bible study. It's in 9 days. It's Mondays and Wednesdays this in the month of July. You can find us by putting in the search the hashtag Jesus in July 24 and our videos will come up. And if you make anything, you can put that hashtag in your comment, in your notes with your pictures or your videos, and we can come find it that way. So we'll be looking around for people that are posting for Jesus in July. I'm really excited to see what everybody can come up with. So Violet kind of got put on the side because it got July before I knew it, but I'm still working on her, as you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this little knot. You know, I'm thinking about gluing this on some cardboard, corrugated board. I've got some. So I have this cool stuff. We could put it on like across there. We could run a little piece of fabric. I think this is going to be too wide and not the right color. I could do like a little piece to make it. I had this one, didn't I? I was thinking about doing. What do you think about that color? And then put this over it. So I have this too. That's pretty. What if we rolled that up and made like a little. I think that's the only one that I might like in here. There's some oranges, but I don't know that. No. I'll cut just a little piece off so we can maybe play with it. That's too heavy. So as you can see, I'm not sure what I want to do, which is not unusual for me. So I don't need a big long piece. I do need it right about here, I think. A little bit lower. So again, I'm doing one stitch at a time because it is so many layers that I've got right here. I don't know where my thimble is right now. But it still wouldn't matter. I don't think I could do more than one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the little edges that I don't want because we're fixing to start turning it. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back out while I'm on the outside of the purple. So now we're just going to tuck this in. I'm actually going to go back across because I want this a little bit lower. So let me just do that first. See how this is poking out? I'm just going to manipulate it and wiggle it around to where it goes down just a little bit. We don't need a whole lot on the front, on the top. We just need enough to fold it under up there. So I think we're going to get the dress on today, and then I will film some more because I do want to do more to it and finish this up and maybe put the chain on it and stop there for today. And then I will do some more after I decide what I want to do, because right now I'm not sure. This is taking a lot of brain power. So I really don't need that much bulk. I'm just going to trim off a little piece. And what I'm going to do right here is anchor this in. So I'm going to do like a little back stitch, just coming back up where I was at and stitching over the same thing. Okay. So then I'm going to come back out right in here. I'm going to say out here. Let me get some more thread. So if I can get enough of this done today and edit it, I would like to put it up for tomorrow too. Well, tomorrow's Tuesday, but I would like to do a premiere tomorrow with this one. So I put it up today so y'all can see the announcements that it's coming, and then tomorrow I can talk to you guys live. I won't be live as far as talking like right now, but I would be live on the computer and be able to chat with everybody. So see right here, I'm trying to tuck that in and sew it down. And it's a good thing we got brown thread because that white would really be showing up. And you just have to fiddle with it. It'll go eventually. Now I may have too much. So I don't want my belt to be too wide. So I'm going to come up right in there. And right here I'm going to try and tack that down so it will stay. That will do. So now I've went to about right there, and I'm just going to turn this under. All these little threads out. And I'm going to tack it down too. Right here I'm going to put a few extra stitches because of that corner. And then I'm just going to come up and start going across really slowly and tucking as I go. So this is the needle turn part where you're tucking it. You know, I might have to put some of that chain on going down there or something just to make it, give it some more, you know. So it is a little hard to sit here and do this way. My back is starting to hurt. Usually I'm in my chair where I'm sitting different, or my recliner, I guess you can call it, my chair. But I wanted to get this on video, so I thought, no, I got to. I didn't expect it to turn out this nice, but you never know till you try. So as I get over here closer to this end, I think I'm going to trim that just a little bit more. Not much. Every little bit helps. So over here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn this in with my needle or my finger. See how it's laying down and nice and neat. Well, I don't know about nice and neat, but it's laying down. So I've done some applique in my life, but not a whole lot. I'm a quilter, so I do like the look of applique. It's just, these days my hands hurt and you're doing these tight little stitches. But I want to tell you, this one has been worth it to me. This looks so cute. So now the question is, do I want to put, let me see, I'm going to tie this first, just to get it out the way. So I think that would look really pretty right across there. What do you think? Even there. I'm going to trim it right here, I think. Let's see. So do I want it right there at the top of the band? No, it would lay better right there. Or do I want it in the middle? Actually, like that. I'll make it better right there, I think, just because it just sits there. So I do need to take off one little bead. So I could glue this on, but I think I'm going to go ahead and hand stitch it right now. Let me see, where's my needle coming out at? Okay. So I'm just going to come in, and actually I want to see if I can get this a little bit better looking before I get over there. So I know the video as of right now is already an hour long. I'm going to take some of that out. This does take time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over each little bead and keep my needle threaded. So these are bendable. So my thread can go down in there. I'm just going in between each little bead or jewel, whatever you want to call them. I'm trying to keep it about the same distance from the little belt. So I was not expecting to have all this glitter on here and to really, I had thought about the lace, but not, I don't know, not a lot about it. Not that it would come out like that. I like the dimension, how it actually fluffed up the dress more. I'm not sure. I could put some little flowers there. So I want to do, I've got the stuff to do one for the Jesus in July jump turtle. Haven't started it yet. I'm thinking about it. So that's how it starts with me, as I start thinking about these things. And I'm not one that can really picture stuff like you would think, like TV. You see the everything in plain view in your mind. My brain don't work that way. I would have a hard time. I can do this. Trying to pick somebody out of a lineup. I'm not sure what it's called. My daughter said she looked it up and it was called something, but I don't remember. Where you really can't define faces and things. So I do really appreciate everyone that's come and visited me. I say thank you so much. So today we're going to end this right here. There's still more that I want to do too. I just, we'll be doing it in another video because I am getting tired and my brain quits working. I was actually working on the Jesus in July journal earlier, so it's been a long day. But I'm going to say thank you for coming by. It'd be great if you left me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Hit the like button and subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and have a great day.